Well, Kanye
Yeah.
has lost all his deals
Yeah.
in the last few weeks. The Adidas one kind of surprised me a little bit. Just because when you look at what led up to it, he said all the anti-Semitic stuff and, DEFCON 3 on Jews and so forth. The Gap ended their deal. Whatever. He had a couple pieces with the Gap that no one really bought. Because it's funny how the Gap even announced that they're taking down the Gap Yeezy website. I actually looked at the website that morning and a quarter of the items were on sale. Nobody was buying these weird ass Gap Yeezy hoodies. I bought one just to see what the quality was like, and it was dumb. Like, it goes up to your damn belly button.
It's like Gap quality?
No, I wouldn't say it's Gap quality.
Okay.
I would say the quality is a bit better. It was a thicker material, but the fit of it was just odd. In general, no one's ever bought Yeezy clothes. Everyone likes his sneakers. I'll give him that. I own a lot of his sneakers.
Right.
But the clothes itself has always looked like homeless clothes to me, and I don't think anyone's really fucked with it.
My brand manager, who's like way more tapped into apparel and, he's really tapped in with all the different apparel manufacturers all over LA. And he said that a couple years ago, basically like Yeezy had taken over the manufacturers in LA in the sense that it was like, even for us to get 500 no jumper shirts made was going to be a huge pain in the ass because Yeezy had basically like monopolized all of the factories in the LA area. And so to put in perspective now, he's telling me that shit is staying on the shelves even before all this. It was not really moving off the shelves that much. Yes, the shoes have always kind of done well. But I mean, there's definitely an argument to say that the brand was not doing like anywhere near as well as it was a couple of years ago, even before all this controversy. So yeah, I mean, I was a little bit surprised to see Adidas make that move, but then having seen, his bank cancel him, Balenciaga, who he didn't really have like a financial relationship with, he was just representing them like crazy. All these brands.
No, they have, I think that there was a Yeezy Balenciaga collab.
Oh, okay. Because he said in another interview that he never got paid by Balenciaga.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. But I'm saying, there was work that they were working with each other. Like, for example, Balenciaga has a whole Adidas collab right now. And I'm sure that he had his hands in it somewhat.
But it's funny because they're putting that out now that Kanye is not involved. And I saw a meme that was like when your two exes get together and start talking shit about you. Yeah, but
but Balenciaga, once again, not a big portion of their business came from Kanye. So cutting ties with Kanye was, to me, like just a no-brainer.
And they're already like one of the coolest brands in the world. But at the same time, I mean, you have Kanye, one of the biggest stars in the world, rocking a Balenciaga mouth guard, rusning around doing media, doing press with that thing in his mouth for like weeks straight. Yeah. I mean, that is the kind of cosign that people literally would pay many, many millions of dollars for their brand. But I mean, really, now that all the shit is kind of falling apart, I guess I can't. Like, would you really want to be the one brand that's standing by him through all this shit? I mean, I think that the lesson that has been kind of learned here is that all these corporations and stuff are not going to really be down to tolerate racism and hatred and bigotry, even when it's coming from a very, well-liked celebrity.
Well, someone that's bringing in a lot of income, which is why I thought with Adidas, they're just going to keep quiet for a while, maybe put the relationship on pause or whatever else. But when they announce that they're not only cutting ties, but it's funny because remember he said, Adidas can't drop me no matter how many anti-Semitic things I say. How's that? A week later, dropped by Adidas.
And that was a fucked up moment because it's like you're acknowledging that you are coming out here and saying anti-Semitic things. Because I would have thought that he would have tried to characterize all the stuff he was saying as not being anti-Semitic. Like, I'm taking issues with the Jews or whatever, but I'm not actually anti-Semitic. That one quote, I was like, oh, so you're like, you're being anti-Semitic and you're hyped on it. This is a little surprising to me because, I mean, think about it. Adidas did not object to a lot of other stuff throughout the years,
Slavery was a choice.
Right.
Even the George Floyd didn't die from the cop. He died from fentanyl.
White Lives Matter. They didn't really care.
White Lives Matter. It was a lot of fuck shit that he pulled that they pretty much kept their mouth shut for.
In a way that they would not do for any other celebrity.
No. I mean, look, Gilbert Arenas had a $40 million deal with Adidas. when the whole gun incident happened in the locker room, which when you look at it was sort of just a dumb kind of prank kind of situation. But when ultimately Gilbert Arenas had to accept a felony plea deal in order to avoid any jail time over it, that was the clause in his Adidas deal that made them drop him instantly. $40 million, poof, went up in air. Like, you see what I'm saying? And
you remember when Tiger Woods got dropped by all his sponsors besides Nike? And that was just for cheating. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. Nazism has a worse image than adultery. I would rather sponsor a cheater than somebody who's out here espousing anti-Jew shit.